Hello everyone, I'm Sophia Brous. It's lovely to be here. So lullabies are a bit like social artifacts. They're melodies that become sort of embedded in cultural consciousness within communities and language groups around the world. And they communicate a lot. You know, they're what are called swaddling songs, and they become a very fundamental form of physical connection, of touching, but they also become an expressive tool all over the world for the parent to communicate something. The child feels the touch and feels the rocking, but the words have a different sort of therapeutic function for the parent. And I was taught this lullaby this week, and I'm very privileged to be singing it, and taught by Tommy Kalinsky, who many of you would know, very active musician and scholar, along with Freddie Merocki and Evelyn Crape and many different people who perform as a part of the kee'ahn, which is a very important Yiddish cultural centre within Melbourne and internationally. And I've been learning these lullabies for many years from all over the world, and Tommy told me a little bit about this piece. So Yiddish is not my mother tongue, except for a few sort of expletives. So I apologise to Arnold Zabel backstage. But this is a piece called Makzu die Egeler. And I'm going to read this because it's important. The music and melody was written by David Begelman, who was a well-known composer of the Yiddish theatre before the war. He'd been the director of the FOJAM Yiddish Theatre since 1912, and he continued to compose prolifically throughout the war for the FOJAM Ghetto Theatre. Begelman was deported to Auschwitz in August 1944, taking with him his violin. It's written that Begelman worked every day in the cultural house of the FOJAM Ghetto, writing music for and directing an 18-piece orchestral ensemble, a choir and a dance group. And he died at Auschwitz in February 1945. The piece was written, the words and poetry, by Isaiah Spiegel, a poet, writer, essayist, and teacher who survived FOJAM and Auschwitz and emigrated to Israel in 1950, where he continued writing until his death in 1990. The song was performed only once in the FOJAM Ghetto by Ella Diamant, and it caused a lot of controversy because of the words. Chaim Rumkowski, who's the feared head of the FOJAM Ghetto Judenrat, was present at the performance and threatened Spiegel with deportation if it was performed again. And this is a lullaby. And the words are, close your little eyes, here come little birds, and circle around here, at the head of your cradle, the little bundle in your hand, the house in ash and conflagration. We are setting out, my child, in search of luck. God has closed up the world, and everywhere it's night. It waits for us, with horror and with terror. We both are standing here in this heavy, difficult hour and don't know where the road will lead to. Naked and bare we were, expelled from our home in darkness, driven into the field and storm, hail and wind. Accompany us, my child, accompany us into the abyss of the world. Mach zu die Egeler, hot kommen Fegeler, und kreisen do Aaron, zu Kopf uns von dein Weg, das Päckel in der Hand, das Haus in Asch und Brand. Mir lösen sich mein Kind, suchen Glück, die Welt hat Gott vermacht. Und ist Nacht, sie wallt auf uns mit Scheude und mit Schreck. Wir stehen beide da in Show und weisen nicht wohin. Sweet der Weg, men hat uns neiget bloß, vergeut von unser Haus in Finsternis, getrieben uns in Feld und Sturm